Hello, everyone. I would like to begin today by asking you to think about three questions. Do you frequently experience joint discomfort, particularly in your ankles or big toe, along with unexplained heat, redness, and swelling? Are your hands and feet feeling a little puffy, and you attribute this to aging and a slower metabolism? Do you think that gout, a disease that affects the wealthy, is the only effect of having excessive uric acid? If you said yes or unsure to any of these questions, the information you learned today might fundamentally alter your perspective and possibly even help you steer clear of a serious health danger down the road. Because our everyday diets and lifestyles already contain a silent health killer that is more pernicious than excessive blood sugar or high cholesterol. Elevated uric acid. It is important to realize that gout is not the only condition associated with elevated uric acid. It is a risk factor for more severe diseases. Kidney failure or even a sudden stroke, the thing we fear most, could be its eventual result. Is this adversary who appears to be dangerous, unbeatable? Absolutely not. We'll scientifically dispel the myths surrounding excessive uric acid today so you can recognize it for what it really is. Above all, we will present to you a superhero who is concealed in your kitchen. In the battle against elevated uric acid, this unassuming, low-cost substance may out to be your most effective ally. The onion. Before we begin, please click the subscribe button below and enable notifications if you genuinely care about your health and the health of your family. You won't lose out on future, useful health insights in this way. Here we share with you health facts that are rarely publicly discussed by the media. Please enter C in the comment section if you would like us to share. This is the most heartfelt endorsement for our ongoing creation. Please feel free to post a comment if you or your family are dealing with related issues. I'll try my best to respond to your inquiries. Okay, let's move on to the subject for today. Are you ready? Let's start this informational war to prevent strokes and save our health. You have to understand your enemies before you can defeat them. A lot of individuals just know the name of uric acid. Why does it rise, and where does it originate? What precisely is elevated uric acid then? The body can be thought of as a never-ending factory. Raw materials are necessary for the factory to function. The natural metabolism of our body's cells provides some of these materials, while the depreciation of the factory's own equipment provides others. A material known as purine is created during this process. The only raw material needed to make uric acid is purine. Uric acid is the end metabolic result of these purines processing by our liver. Therefore, uric acid is not a toxin. Rather, it is a byproduct of regular body metabolism. What is the issue then? The equilibrium between production and excretion is the issue. The kidneys are a very effective wastewater treatment system in our body. The kidneys remove the majority of the uric acid in the urine. Your body creates and excretes uric acid in equal proportions under normal conditions. The blood's uric acid level stays steady and within a safe limit. When this equilibrium is upset, high uric acid results. There are just two explanations. Consuming too many purine-rich raw materials, such as seafood, red meat, organ meats, and rich broths, is a result of overproduction. As the processing plant, the liver must put in extra effort to produce uric acid, which results in an output that is significantly more than what the wastewater treatment system can handle. Reduced excretion. The kidneys, which treat wastewater, are malfunctioning or obstructed. Alcohol is a common interference agent, for instance. It prevents uric acid from being smoothly expelled from the body by competing with it for excretion pathways. High uric acid results from the concentration of uric acid rising as it builds up in the blood. It is not hyperbole to claim that elevated uric acid is the cause of all illnesses. The following three factors, each more lethal than the others, primarily represent its hazards. The first threat causing excruciating agony, damaging joints, and resulting in gout. This is the most obvious and immediate risk associated with elevated uric acid. Sharp uric acid salt crystals are formed when the blood's uric acid saturation reaches a particular point and precipitates in cold, slow-flowing locations. These include our knees, ankles, and big toes. Imagine your cartilage and synovial membrane in your joint cavity being continually rubbed and punctured by innumerable tiny glass fragments. The agony is intense and awful. This is a severe flare-up of gout. These crystals will continue to build up over time, creating lumpy tophi and gout stones. These will weaken your bones, causing irreversible joint abnormalities and loss of function, which will make walking challenging. The second threat causing renal deterioration and failure. Nephropathy due to elevated uric acid. If bodily suffering is what gout is, then kidney damage is an assault on our very foundation. The primary organ for uric acid excretion and the primary target of elevated uric acid are the kidneys. The kidney's filtration function is directly obstructed and harmed by the persistent accumulation of excessive uric acid salt crystals in the kidney tubules, kidney interstitium, and other areas. This eventually results in kidney stones and chronic nephritis. The fact that this harm is silent is far worse. Many are unaware of it until they experience acute hematuria, blood in the urine, edema, or much worse, renal failure, uremia, and the need for dialysis for the rest of their lives. Then they regret it deeply. The third threat causing strokes and blood vessel damage. Heart-related conditions. This is the most lethal and pernicious risk associated with elevated uric acid. Previously, we believed that cardiovascular disease was caused by the three highs: high blood pressure, high cholesterol, and high blood sugar. However, a growing number of research now support the idea that elevated uric acid does not cause harm. Another strong and independent risk factor is the fourth high. In what way does it cause strokes? Immediately, the inner layer of our blood vessels, known as endothelial cells, are immediately irritated and damaged by uric acid salt crystals, causing the smooth vessel wall to become pitted and rough. Encouraging the development of plaque, bad cholesterol in the blood, is more prone to form atherosclerotic plaques, which resemble dirt on a wall once the blood vessel wall is damaged. Increasing the inflammation of blood vessels become stiff, brittle, and inelastic due to systemic chronic inflammatory reactions brought on by high uric acid. Blood clots are created when these brittle plaques break or separate when blood flow strikes them. A myocardial infarction results if the clot clogs the heart. A heart attack, it results in a stroke if it blocks the brain. Although the journey from elevated uric acid to stroke is lengthy, each step is significant, and we must not ignore it. Controlling excessive uric acid at its source is crucial, given that we are aware of its cause and the serious risks it poses. Kindly add the 3 food categories listed below to your dietary blacklist. Blacklist Category 1. Rich broths and seafood. A well-known purine powerhouse is seafood, particularly the following: crustaceans, such as crabs and lobsters, shellfish, such as clams, oysters, and scallops, and certain fish, such as sardines, anchovies, sori, and fish roe. Aside from the actual seafood, watch out for thick broths. Long-term heating will cause a significant number of purines in the contents to dissolve into the soup, whether it's fish soup, beef soup, chicken soup, or hot pot broth. Many people believe that soup is healthy, but for persons with excessive uric acid, soup is significantly more harmful than meat. Category 2 of the blacklist. Organ and red meats. Because the liver, kidneys, brain, heart, and intestines are metabolic organs of animals with dense cells, their purine content is quite high, like a purine bomb. Red meats like hog, cattle, and lamb are already rather high in purines. Friends who enjoy chewing on bone marrow and consuming autumn must exercise self-control. Category 3. Alcohol and sugar-filled beverages. Any alcohol can increase uric acid, but beer is the most dangerous since it contains both alcohol and yeast, a brewing ingredient that is high in purines. Many people are unaware of the hidden dangers of sugary drinks. When the body metabolizes large levels of fructose found in sodas, juices, milk teas, and other liquids, it directly increases the creation of uric acid. Therefore, don't regard sugary drinks as water, even if you don't consume alcohol. Limiting your food intake does not preclude you from eating anything. We can fight elevated uric acid by eating wisely and the correct meals. These foods are anti-uric acid gems in the kitchen and aid in uric acid regulation. You ought to include them in your regular diet. Uric acid lowering treasure is number one. Onions, a miracle for decreasing uric acid. Why, among common vegetables, are onions often emphasized? Because they contain quercetin, a potent bioactive ingredient. There are two main functions of quercetin: stopping the production process. It successfully stops the body's xanthine oxidase enzyme from working. An essential component in the synthesis of uric acid is this enzyme. Naturally, the machine produces less uric acid when it operates more slowly, encouraging urination. Because of its modest diuretic properties, quercetin aids in the kidney's more efficient removal of excess uric acid from the blood. Onions contain a lot of prostaglandin A, which can help widen blood vessels and reduce blood pressure, in addition to quercetin. This is the cherry on top for safeguarding blood vessels that are at risk from elevated uric acid. How to consume onions. The ideal way to eat them is raw, such as in a cold salad of onions. Stir-frying or creating soup, like in vegetable soup or onion fried eggs, is also a wonderful option if you can't stand the heat. 50 to 100 grams or half to a whole small onion should be consumed each day. Additional partners in reducing uric acid. Celery aids in the excretion of uric acid and has a diuretic effect as well. Cherries, abundant in anthocyanins, which can greatly lower the incidence of gout attacks and efficiently combat inflammation. Dairy products with less fat. It has been demonstrated that casein in milk and yogurt encourages the excretion of uric acid. Fruits and vegetables high in vitamin C, like kiwis, broccoli, and bell peppers, can help reduce uric acid levels. Reducing elevated uric acid requires a lifestyle change and a sustained effort. The next two things are even more crucial than eating. First off, be sure to stay hydrated. The best medication for reducing uric acid is water. Please keep this in mind. Drinking enough water is more important than eating any item that lowers uric acid. What makes drinking water so crucial? Diluting. Impact. Drinking enough water can dilute the blood, lower the content of uric acid, and decrease the likelihood of crystal formation. Effective flushing. Urine naturally increases with water intake. The uric acid dissolved in the urine is flushed out of the body with each urination, which acts as a thorough cleansing. How much alcohol should I consume? How should I drink? It is advised that middle-aged and older friends who do not have heart or kidney issues consume at least 2,000 milliliters of liquids daily. Don't hold off on drinking it till you're thirsty. Drinking a glass every 1 to 2 hours is a proactive and frequent way to consume tiny amounts. What sort of water? It is better to use plain water. You can also have light tea. Never use sugary drinks in place of water. Point number 2. Move your body. Exercise speeds your metabolism. Movement is essential to life, and managing uric acid is no different. Why does exercise work? Frequent exercise improves insulin sensitivity, enhances systemic metabolism, and helps us control our weight. All of them aid in reducing uric acid levels. Which type of exercise should I pick? Gentle, prolonged aerobic exercise, such jogging, swimming, cycling, or brisk walking, is advised. Steer clear of intense anaerobic exercise because it might cause blood concentration and gout if you perspire too much in a short amount of time and don't drink enough water. Frequency of exercise. It is advised to engage in at least 5 sessions of 30 minutes or more of exercise per week. Okay, friends, today we have covered a lot of ground on the subject of excessive uric acid, including its causes, the 3 serious risks it poses, the black and white lists of diets, and coping mechanisms. Let's now quickly go over the main aspects of today and summarize them in a health memo that is available for viewing whenever you want. A health note for all of your friends who are middle-aged or older. Be really watchful. Please do away with the outdated notion that gout is caused by excessive uric acid. Additionally, there is a concealed risk of stroke and kidney failure. It needs to be handled with the same seriousness as high blood pressure. Maintain strict dietary management. Keep in mind the 3 don'ts. Steer clear of red meats and organ meats, avoid alcohol and sugary drinks, and avoid seafood and thick broths. Eat wisely. Place items that reduce uric acid on your table, such as low-fat dairy products, onions, celery, and cherries. Include them in your regular diet. Have a drink. Enough. Simple water. Consider drinking water a must. The passing grade is 2,000 milliliters each day. It is the best cleaner for your body. Work out lightly. Select and maintain an aerobic fitness regimen that works for you. Maintain the optimal functioning of your body's metabolic machinery. It's never easy to break habits that have been formed for decades, I know. However, please consider the numerous places a painless joint may take us, the many diseases a healthy kidney can prevent, and the fact that a clear blood vessel is our greatest asset for living a long and fulfilling life and supporting our families. From now on, every little alteration matters for this freedom, dignity, and contentment in old age. You always have the ability to take charge of your health. I hope the information today has been really beneficial to you. Please hit like and spread the word to your loved ones if you found it helpful. A gentle reminder could alter a person's course in life. In order for us to keep learning together and safeguarding our most valuable health in the days ahead, please remember to subscribe to our channel. I'll see you later.